to tag us at hashtag Constellations Summit. And I think that's about it for housekeeping duties. But wanted to go ahead and introduce our presenters today. This is, as you see, CodeHS, the Georgia High School Pathways. We have Jennifer Campbell, who is the curriculum developer. We have Evelyn Hunter, who's the director of curriculum, and we have Bianca Ramchandani. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I just love trying to say that name. But Jennifer is originally from New York and comes to CodeHS with over 10 years of experience. She has a master's in education, is now based in the beautiful Savannah, Georgia. She enjoys the laid-back Southern lifestyle and exploring new places. The beach is her happy place. And Evelyn has been on the CodeHS team for 4 years, and in this time, she has developed computer science curriculum and professional development to help schools and districts all over the world build their computer science programs. Before coming to CodeHS, Evelyn was a math teacher, math is life, and robotics coach. She lives in Oakland, California, and loves running, reading, and movies. And I'm sorry, I don't have a bio for Bianca, but if you could just say a little bit about yourself, I'll tell you, she's been very helpful to me and the fellows at the Constellations Center because we do utilize the CodeHS platform. And anytime we needed help, it seemed like even before we click send, she's already there, like helping us out. So go ahead, Ms. Ramchandani.
Thanks. Thank you. Bianca, I'm a customer success manager at CodeHS. I've been here for about 1.5 years. I was a middle school teacher before this, taught math and history, interesting combination. And then, my role at CodeHS is, I'm the main person for the state of Georgia. So I work with a lot of schools in Georgia and teachers and students and help bring computer science in the classrooms.
All right. So these are our presenters, and give them your full attention, and I'll go ahead and hand it over to you all.
Thank you so much. That was great. Like, you even taught me how to use things. Like, I was going to ask you, like, do I have to maximize it for everyone?
Oh.
So thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a few things to let you know about CodeHS in general, and then also the Georgia Pathways specifically. Bianca has lived in Georgia. I still live in Georgia. I even taught in Georgia for 10 years. My first job was at Pebblebrook, and then I taught online for Georgia Connections Academy. And I actually still teach adjunct for Georgia Virtual. I have like one course just because I love it so much. So we have a soft spot for Georgia. So we want to let you know what we have to help you along the way with your computer science courses. All right, so I'm going to go to the screen. Let me know if anything doesn't work correctly, because now I can't see the hop-in. So these are the three, we're the three people who are going to be helping you today. I'll probably do a lot of talking. Evelyn will pop up and talk, and then we'll all kind of help answer questions that you might have in the chat as well. And this is just a little agenda. So we're going to go over a bit of what CodeHS has as a pathway and then how it matches to Georgia Pathways. And we have 3 courses in specific that we'll go over for you guys. So we have an Intro to Digital Technology course just for Georgia. And then we also have our 2 AP courses, the Computer Science Principles and Computer Science A. We will go to kind of like a workshop feel. So we will give you access to these courses and you'll be able to go through as a student. We'll go through like the slides. We'll kind of do like a fake classroom type thing virtually, which who knows, it might be that at the beginning of next semester, who knows? And then we'll go over some of the teacher tools in CodeHS, and then we'll be around for a Q&A as well. Okay, so this is an example. It isn't our only pathway, but this is an example of some courses that can be taken from 6th grade to 12th grade at CodeHS. So we do actually have, and we have a whole separate session on this, but we do have some middle school Georgia specific courses. But since they're more like a 9-week rotation type thing and not a full course, that's why we didn't include them here. So World of Computing would be a full year course. Introduction to Internet would be a full year course. And the way this works, it works for like if it spans across 6th and 7th, then that's probably good for either 6th or 7th graders. But it's only 1 year. or even shorter sometimes. So then we also have web design, and then we have your Georgia Introduction to Digital Technology for either 8th, 9th, or 10th grade, and then AP Computer Science Principles after that, and AP Computer Science A after that. And some of this does match the Georgia pathways, and I know we have a lot in Georgia. We actually use the standards because they're so comprehensive. We look at your standards a lot and kind of base some of our courses off of them because they're great. So we do have the first pathway, the computer science pathway, fully covered. We've got all 3 of those courses. Cybersecurity, we have a lot. We just actually came up with new material for the first cybersecurity and some of the advanced cybersecurity. I just aligned one of them yesterday, and I know Introduction to Cybersecurity, we're about 85% aligned. So we do have a lot of, we're close to that one. We're very close to that one. Same with game design. We had the first 2, and then a little bit of the third one. And then a lot of these, we do have the first 2 and then a little bit of the third one, just not embedded computing. We do have a few mini courses for Arduino and microbit. So we do have a little bit, maybe that could apply to that. But for the most part, we have the first 2 and then a little bit of the third. Same here. We've got some new material that matches the networking as well. It's kind of mixed in with the cybersecurity. But we are going to focus on that first pathway because we do have all 3 courses fully aligned for all of them. And the first one, the first course that we have, we've created for Georgia, Introduction to Digital Technology. I hate that I can't see your faces. I might just like come back and just, okay, just make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. Just call me, like just pop up on here if you need me to answer something in the chat. So this is our first course, the Introduction to Digital Technology. We all know that this has like just a wealth of, there's not much depth, but there's definitely a lot of breadth. So we have a lot of different topics that are covered in this course. It's fully aligned 100%. Each unit has quizzes. It has end of unit quizzes, we call them, but basically it's a test. We include projects, coding exercises. We have offline handouts and lesson plans. And then we have tons of supplemental challenges and units for any student that might work ahead or need an extra challenge. And I'm going to show you guys examples of this. So I know this is just like this is like an overview. It's just, just a wide view of everything. Here's an example. So we do have either block, it could be block coding, or you can change it to, see, there you go. You can change it to text as well. And we use Carol the dog. So Carol the dog is just a fun way to teach coding. They're still coding in JavaScript. And they are just moving the dog around a grid world. And we'll try some of this in a bit too. Then a second course in that pathway is a computer science principles course. We are fully endorsed by AP CSP, endorsed by the College Board. And we actually have one course. It's been in JavaScript. We've had this course for a while in JavaScript. And we have actually now, it's in beta, so it will be available in July. But we do have AP CSP in Python, which is really good for Georgia because a lot of the IDT course is in JavaScript. So for it not to seem repetitive, you can, if you choose, do IDT in JavaScript and then AP CSP in Python. Or you can keep it in JavaScript and just maybe make the exercises a little tougher, to pull the students a little further. But for this course, we have practice performance tests, we have practice exams, and then we have an entire other course devoted just to review. So again, lots of materials here to pick and choose from. And here's kind of some examples. We're going to try that pixel tool today too. I'll give you access to that pixel tool. And then we also have graphics. So students can make little Mickey Mouses. We have one that looks like the ghost from Pac-Man. So we have a lot of fun things, interactive things. And it's all web-based, so you don't have to download anything. It's all web-based, and it's all just right there on the website. And lastly, for this pathway would be the Computer Science A course that we have just redone recently so that it matches the unit sequence from College Board. And again, it's fully endorsed. Our new course is fully endorsed. We have a designated review course as well for this. And we also include the labs for AP CSA.
Person had a question about, does the CSC course, has that been updated to the new course description and overview?
Yes, yes, and good. I should have mentioned that, but yes, it has been updated to the new framework and already is endorsed as well. All right, so we want to get our hands dirty, right? We want to see what all this is. So I'm going to give you guys a link, and when you go to the link, it will enroll you in a course. And I'll walk you through almost like I'll be like a kind of teacher, but kind of like a student and a teacher. Like I want to make sure, I don't want it to take forever, but I want to make sure you get the real experience of everything. So here, go to this link. I'm going to try to maybe paste it in the chat. I don't know if I click on this, it's going to go to the next thing, isn't it? Okay, we're going to paste this in the chat, and I'm going to give you guys, okay, excellent, thanks. And I'm going to come back to see the chat. Let me know if you have any difficulties getting in. If you have an account already, it should just enroll you in the course. You just have to put in the class code. If you don't have a CodeHS account, it'll just make you sign up real quick. So I'll give a few minutes for this. And let me know too, if like, not everyone has to do it, but if like a few people can just let me know that they did get in, like I guess you can't give me a thumbs up, but like a happy face or I got in the chat, that would be helpful. Thank you. Awesome. Great. All right, I'll give it just a little bit longer. I will come back to this screen because I'm going to let you guys work on some of the things after going through it a little bit. I'll let you work on it on your own, and then I'll just bring this screen back for anyone that needs to get in that maybe pops in the room late or something. All right, so let me show you what this looks like. I actually think I have to unshare because I have to go to a different screen. So let me see. Or a different browser tab. I don't think it's that one. Oh, maybe this. Let's see if this works. Okay, so I was trying to share what it would look like from the teacher version, but it looks like I might not be able to do that because it's on a different profile. So instead of that, I will just pull up a student version of my own. Just give me 1 second. There it is.
All right, don't forget, if you have questions for our winners, go ahead and post them in the chat so we can address them.
Okay, good. So when you get in, it should look something like this at the screen share. And we're going to go through the first lesson together. I'll show you the pieces of the lesson, and then I'll give you a few minutes to test out the materials on your own as well. So let me go to this screen here. And if you click here, you'll get into the actual course. And now this is not any of our courses specifically. This is almost like a sample of all 3 courses. So this first Programming with Carol is from the Georgia Introduction to Digital Technology. Digital Information lesson is from APC-SP. And then this Primitive Types is from our, we call it Nitro because of Java. It's our Nitro version, which is the newest version of APCSA. And this is how CodeHS works. If you've never been on CodeHS, we have these modules, and you can click them open, you can click them closed, and then we have lessons within the modules. And it's usually a lot more lessons. I just picked one from each course. And then within each lesson, you have a video, which you can play as a video, which is very helpful if we're going to have to go virtual, or if you want students to do like flip learning, or try to work ahead on their own self-paced. But you can also view them as slides, which is what we'll do today, and teach it like you would a normal class. And then we have a quiz right after that just tests to make sure that they have watched the video and got something from it. So they're easier questions, on the easier side, but basically just a check for understanding. And then we have a few examples where students can just play around and not worry about being graded on them. And then we have exercises, and these are the ones that come to you to grade. All right, so let's all go into the Programming with Carol one. So you're going to click on the video, And you can do this on yours, or you can just follow me along for the slides, because I'm going to use the slides just to speed things up a little bit. And then I'll show you how to work the examples and give you a few minutes to try to work with our Carol. All right, so up here you can click on slides. So I'm going to click up there, and I'm going to pretend that I'm a teacher using the slides in a classroom. So this is not the first course, though, so I'm always going to interject just to help you not get confused. This isn't the first lesson. So this lesson has to do with functions. So we have a dog. Her name is Carol. We haven't decided. It's just a dog. And Carol can do certain things. Carol can move with a move command. Carol can turn left. Carol can put down a ball with a put ball command, and then take up a ball with the take ball command. But Carol can't turn right. So we're going to use this lesson to kind of introduce functions. So this is an example from a last lesson. So we would build this up as a recap. So in the build a tower, students kind of figured out that they wish they had a turn right. There is no turn right. The only thing we can do you guys know? Answer in the chat. If he can only turn left, how do we get Carol to turn right? Yeah, very good. 3 lefts. So can't turn right. Instead, we've got to turn left, turn left, turn left. So a lot of students do realize from this last example that they did in the previous lesson that it would be nice to have a turn right function or a turn right command. So this is where we introduce functions. So it's the way to teach Carol new words. A function is a way to teach Carol a new word. So we want to teach Carol how to turn right. This is the syntax. So when you're writing a function, you've got turn right, and we're going to name the function. You want to make sure it's camel case. So camel case is lowercase, starts off with a lowercase, and then each new word starts with a capital. We also want to make sure that we include brackets. Everything has to be in those brackets. And then this is the body of the function. So we want, every time we say turn right, we want Carol to turn left, turn left, turn left. All right, so let's try this out. I'm going to show you how, I'll show you the quiz, but we're going to I'll let you do that on your own. Don't look at the answers. You can do that on your own. But I'll show you how our editor works, and then I'll let you have a few minutes to try this. Okay, so students have the ability to and you have the ability to turn it off or on. You can do blocks or code, or you can have just code and not allow blocks. So that's up to your students' levels. So we do have block coding, or if you click here, I mean, I love this. I love how you can switch back and forth. You can switch and see the regular code in text code, and then type as well. So let's switch to block code. Another thing you might want to know while you're going through this and kind of exploring is there is a pull-out button here, this blue one. And this is where you'll see some more information about this really helps. This is how it should, when we run it, this is how it should end. This is the result world. And then we have some helpful hints for students as well. Over here, we also have a docs tab. So this is really good for students getting started. And if this is your first time on CodeHS, this would be helpful for you as well. So here it's got all of the commands that Carol can do, a little bit about functions as well. And then one more thing that might be helpful is in this more tab. I use this one a lot when I'm learning new material on CodeHS. So there's slides as well. So if you wanted to go back to the slides and actually see what was in the slides, like if you remember, well, they showed me what the skeleton was for a function, then you can come right here and see the that slide for you. So this might help. All right, so let's see what Carol can do. This is just the speed, and let's do run. So Carol moves, and you can see it's highlighting. And now we use the turn right function. And you get a nice job. You got to continue. So what I want to do is I want to let you guys go through this. So you can look down here too. You can see all of the different activities for this lesson down here. So see, we did the slides together. You can try the quiz, and then we have an example, and then we have 2 exercises. So see if you guys can get through the 2 exercises, and I'll come back in a few minutes and see how everyone's doing.
So did you remind them to see the instructions? They had to click on assignment, because that might not be the first thing that pops up when they click on the activity.
Yeah, so you will slides. Let's see if I can get back. Just in case you don't know how to get to this on your own screen. And I did see a question about self-paced versus teacher. So we do have access controls as well. So you can do this as a teacher course, a teacher-led course, and just have the access controls only allow it when they're in the classroom with you, or just work through it together at that point too. So yes, we have a lot of teachers that use it as a teacher-led course and not self-paced. All right, so this is what the beginning looks like. So these are the assignments. So you can check out this entire lesson if you'd like. We're going to see if we can get through all of these. So you can start at the video and then it'll just bring you to the next one, bring you to the next one, bring you to the next one.
All right, anyone have any questions about the activity? Are you all finding success getting Carol to put the balls and moves and make the design?
I know I'm going to be that. I know a lot of teachers get like, no, I want to finish, but I am probably going to cut you off in a little bit to let you know, to see the two other examples as well. So we probably won't get through everything, but I wanted to let you have just a few minutes to play. Any feedback about Carol? What do you guys think? Was it easy to, was there any confusing parts, or was it easy to kind of figure out? My computer is overheating. Hopefully I don't get kicked out.
This first activity, did you want them to like create the other method, turn right, and then use it in their code?
Yes, and I did forget to show you this, and this is always helpful for students, because students sometimes forget what they're supposed to do. Like if they see this screen right here, they forget what they're supposed to be doing. So there is an assignment tab right up here, and this will get you back to letting you know what you're supposed to be doing and what's supposed to the ending world is supposed to be. Did anyone get through slide, Carol? And we'll go on to the next one.
There was a question about copying and pasting the blocks. Is that possible? And I think we got an answer. So I see that is yes.
Yes, and lines too, because we have, seen students who have found answers and try to use them. You can actually turn off the copy paste function as well, which kind of deters students from trying to cheat. So that's an option. And we're trying to work on those tools constantly because they're inventive. All right, so let's see another example of a lesson. We've got some time to look at these other two. If we want to get back to the actual course, the easiest way, I know we can down here. I'm trying to think of what the easiest way to be for you guys. For me, it's not going to be so easy. Okay. I'll give you guys a little bit because it depends on what screen you're at to figure out how to get to this next lesson, the pixel colors. Now, one thing you could do is you probably could just go to courses and find the course, or go to my sections and find the section, and it will load it back up for you. But we're going to go for this pixel colors. The way I did it is I just hit this little button, and then it's right there. So this is an example of a lesson that is from AP CSP. So I'll go through the slide just kind of briefly to let you know what the lesson is about, where it belongs in the course and such. So we do have this lesson on pixels. It's after teaching students about binary. It's after teaching students about hexadecimal. And now we're going to give them the chance to kind of use the hexadecimal to create pictures. So we kind of review again that all images are made from pixels. If you zoom in, you see that there's these little blocks that are all made with pixels. Each value encodes the color at that position in the image. So this was a past lesson. So this is another recap that we have had the students use our pixel tool, but only given them either on or off. So they could only create black and white pictures. So in this lesson, we bring it one step further with color. So we start off with the RGB color encoding. So RGB is red, green, blue, and every single color can be created with a mixture of these three colors. And students may think, you might think that there's not many colors because of these three. So, we're taught when we're young, red and blue make purple. But there's a lot of different shades of purple if you use different parts of each color. So we have a ton of different colors that can all be made with just red, green, and blue. And each pixel, and there's different ways of showing pixels. So sometimes they're round, sometimes they're more rectangular. So each pixel, if you go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into it, is just red, green, blue. And we have these three values. And this is another one that students I still get messed up sometimes. So if we have no color at all, the result is black. And if we have a mixture of colors, we can get a whole bunch of different shades. This one is purple. So this is just an example of, if we have 156 for the red, 54 for the green, and then 255 for the blue, we'll get this nice little purple. And then if we put them all on, so we get as far as we can for red, green, and blue, we will actually get white. And the color channels go from 0 to 255, which gives us a lot of different combinations. And each channel can be represented with 8 bits. So this is going back now to binary. So binary, so we have 8 bits. So remember, each 0, each 1 is 1 bit. So binary, if we have 8 bits or 8 zeros, we're going to get 0. If we have 8 ones, we're going to get 255. If you have an advanced class, you can have them kind of try to convert this. So convert this, which we do earlier in the lessons as well. So we can convert that and see that it'll go to 255. And then we can also do this in hexadecimal. So hexadecimal as well. So let's take an example color and see all the different ways that it can be demonstrated. So with RGB, we've got this way. So 156, 54, 255. In binary, it's going to be much longer, but that's what the computer understands. And then the entire color is represented with 24 bits. And the reason is we said each one is 8, right? So there's 8 here, there's 8 there, there's 8 there. So 8 times 3, 24 bits. And we can also use hex, which hexadecimal is probably the most common way to use to show color. And we have these hex codes for color. So that's what we're going to use in today's lesson. That's kind of what we're going to explore. And then this goes a little further. I don't want to get too far into it. I want to give you guys enough time to explore and not just lecture at you. But let's see. So here's an image example. We've got the first pixel, which is red. We've got the second pixel, which is green, because we've got red, green, blue. And this one, which would be red, green, blue, would come out as blue. All right, so actually, let's do this one for real. What do you guys think? Okay, hold on. This one will be. What will we get if we have FF, FF, FF? What color? What do you think? This is the one that everyone gets backwards too, right? I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, am I right? Or do I have the backwards one? Yeah, I always get it backwards. See, I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to click next and see which one it is. But let's see. If we have all the colors, it's got to be white, right? Yes. So if you have F, 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 that's white. And like I said, I'm still getting this backwards. And then if we have all zeros, then that's going to give us black. All right, so we're going to explore this. So I want to show you how this works with our pixel color, and then I'll give you a few minutes to kind of play around with it. There's a lot of examples here. And we're going to go to, we can hit continue. It will go to the quiz, and I'll let you guys do that on your own. And then let's take a look at our pixel tool. So colors in bits. So it's giving you a little bit of information if you want to read that on your own. And then the way it works is we can put our color in bits. So we can change here. So we can do color. We can do black and white. Let's do color. But we can do binary or hexadecimal. So if we change it to hexadecimal, it changes it up here. So what the students can do is they can even type, choose a code here and see the hexadecimal value for it. So let's choose, I don't know, like a blue. And if we put it in there, I'll just get rid of the rest of them so we don't see all of it. It will give us that color. So we have this tool for them to kind of play around with. And there's different ways that they can use it too. Like this last one, if you want to just have fun, you can actually create your own color image. So here we let the students kind of have a whole board, and they can just do create a whole image here, right? And we could just, I don't know, we could just do a whole bunch to show you how it works. So I want to give you guys a few minutes to kind of explore this as well. So in this one, they just get to play around, but these exercises, they want to make a rainbow, make a yellow. And one thing I haven't showed you is this test cases. Now this one, because this is just creative, it's not really going to have many test cases, but it will still have enough. It'll tell you that you didn't use 2 different colors. You should fill every pixel of the image. So this is another way of students to kind of make sure that they have completed it successfully before they hit the submit button and send it to you. All right, so I'll be quiet now and let you guys have a few minutes to check on this. Let me know if you get lost in the navigation, if you can't find this, this lesson or these examples.
If you take a picture of your picture when you finish, you can post to social media. Don't forget, hashtag Constellations Summit. let's see what you're doing out there.
All right, we'll give you just a few more minutes. I know I'm probably that annoying teacher that always tries to end things too early. Like, I don't have enough time. Let me finish. Oh, I did want to share, because we do have, and this Pixel tool just reminds me of it. We do have the new, we've got more cybersecurity stuff coming out. And we've actually used this Pixel tool. If you want to ever in your course extend this a little bit, we have this Pixel tool used for steganography. So when you hide code within these pixels. So we have students actually like change, like instead of an F on this one, maybe I'll put like a code of 6, which stands for a letter or something. And you'll see that it doesn't actually change. I mean, it does change the color, but not much. You can't see the difference between these first two. So we have a whole project that leads students through doing that. And in that, they hide a code within the pixels of an image. It's actually really cool. All right, let's go to, are you guys ready actually for CSA? I mean, it's early in the morning. I don't know. Are we ready to do some Java? I gotta be honest, it's my weakness. It's just so picky. All right, so let's go back to our, if you didn't see what I just did, let me do that again. So I'm in this here, I go to this little button, and then if you click here, you can get to all of the assignments. So we're gonna close APCSP for now. We'll take a look at one APCSA program lesson. And I did pick one of the first ones here because, like I said, it's a weakness and it's early. So let's go to printing in Java.
Well, in the morning, that's when you need your Java.
Right. Different kind of Java, but absolutely. All right, so let's take a look at the slides for these. The slides for these are really comprehensive, and I forgot to show you actually when you're in the slides. So like I said, you can just play the video. The students can play the videos, but if you're in the slides, there are speaker notes too. So if you click down here and go to speaker notes, this could help you as a teacher. I don't know if you can see this because it popped open as a new one. Maybe you can. But it pops open as speaker notes. You can see exactly what you could say for each slide. All right, so in this lesson, this is one of the first lessons. I actually think it's the first lesson. The first lesson is just saying why CSA, why Java. So this is the first coding lesson. And in these slides are like the newest slides, I think, one of the newest slides we have. So we have a lot of added features to them. So we're gonna cover the main skeleton, and we're basically only gonna get into print line versus print. And for Java, there's a skeleton that has to be included in every program. A lot of times we have it in there for the student already so that they don't have to just retype it every single time. But it's still good to know what it actually is. So everything in this, in the Java file, must be in a class. It's got to be within these brackets. The name has to match the file. And I'll show you what this means when I get into the editor. If it's off by a little bit, it's not going to work. Java is very picky. This is the main method. So our new Nitro course, we have a few different flavors. The Nitro course, which is the one that is brand new and aligns to the College Board units. This is the one that uses the main method. We do have an older Mocha one, Mocha flavor, that does not use the main method. And they're both available for you to use. And then this one, you have to have the curly brackets as well. And everything has to be, oh, this is just saying, yeah, it has to be inside that. And then this is where we put our code. So we're going to learn two things today, the print line and then the print, and see what the difference between them are. So print line, this is how we print things to the screen. And it's system.out.println. And then there's a lot of syntax here, and you can't forget any of it. So this is your system print method. This is the input. And anything in the quotation marks, that's what's going to be printed. So the quotation marks won't be printed. And this is considered a string literal. And you can put anything in there. You can put spaces, you can put numbers, and it's just going to print it as a string. So this is showing you kind of how it works. So you're going to put it right in that little block right there. And when you hit run code, it will just print just that part to the screen. It does take a little longer because it's compiling it than like our Carol. When you hit run code for Carol, it goes right away. This one does kind of load a little bit since it's compiling. Don't forget the semicolon. I do this all the time. Every single time. And I'm like, oh, Java. Okay, I'll get the semicolon there for you. All right, so this is the difference. If you haven't taught like I'm actually certified to teach computer science in Georgia, but I never got the chance to because I'm also certified to teach math, and that's they just gave me all math classes. They would never give me a computer science course. But this is something that this is the first thing. So if you've never done this, this is something that you'll need to know for this lesson. So we're just going to do print line, which prints the words and then starts a new line, or print without the ln, and it prints it, and then something will, whatever's next is going to be on the same line. So the ln adds a line at the end. So let's see the difference here. So if we do print ln, it's going to say hello world and then hello world on a new line. If we do print without the ln, it's going to squish it right next to each other. And like I said, because I always got confused on, well, does it add a line? Does it start a new line or does it add a line after? So it adds a line after. So even here, if we did print ln here, the first print didn't add a new line. So this is going to still be on the same line, but it's going to add a line after. I know that's confusing. We're going to try to work through it. All right, let's try. So again, I'm going to go to the example and show you the example. And then I will let you try some on your own. And then after this, we'll go over some of the teacher tools that are included too. So this will be the last workshop piece. So this is an example. You can see the file over here is called Hello World. So this has to be Hello World also right here. And then run code is going to compile a little bit and then print it out for you. So I'll give you guys a few minutes. There's a lot of exercises here. This CSA is a tough course. So we want to get students in there practicing as much as possible. So there's a lot of material, a lot of practice for them in this course. So I'll be quiet now for a few minutes and let you work. Let me know if you have any questions.
So I've actually done some of these activities. So when I went in and tried to do it, I see it already ported my work over.
See, you're the student that we have to give extra work to. Hey, Lori, thanks for joining us. The link is up in the chat somewhere. Let's see if I can find it for you. Found it. I'll bring it down for you. Oh, thank you, Becky. I was going to mention too, we do have a beta course for cybersecurity. We have it for web development. We've got a lot of new things coming out that could definitely hit other or help hit other Georgia pathways as well. We're actually going to, I see some people just came in now. I will definitely give you the link, and it's just basically so that you can explore our lessons, but we're going to switch gears now anyway. And I'm going to send it over to Evelyn. She's going to show you guys some of the teacher tools. So if you want to check out, we'll give you all the links at the end, but if you just came in now, you could probably just watch the teacher tool part and then go into the course and kind of explore after. Thank you guys for letting me kind of act like a teacher a little bit. That was fun. And now I will send it off to Evelyn, and she'll let you know about all the other stuff we've got.
Great. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I love watching her in teacher mode. It's awesome. So hi, I'm Evelyn, for everybody who wasn't in the beginning. I'm the director of curriculum at CodeHS. So now that you've gotten a chance to look at like the student side of things and go through the course, see a little bit of the student experience, I'm actually going to go through a bit of the teacher side and show you, what you might see if you choose to teach one of the Georgia courses with CodeHS. So I'm just going to share my screen here. All right. Can everybody see my screen? Cool. All right. Awesome. So this is probably what you're seeing, or a page similar to what you had been seeing as you go through the workshop. So this is the course that the section that Jennifer created. I didn't do the work, but you can see here that you have on your left-hand side, near your name, you should have this toggle. And so you can actually choose right now, this is the student view, and I'm just going to switch over here so you can see the teacher view. And you can always toggle back and forth. And this is really nice because oftentimes we'll see, a lot of teachers, if you want to see the student experience, you have to like make a different account and then enroll in your own course. But actually you can just switch back and forth to see, what your students are seeing and then what you're seeing as a teacher. Cool. So this is what the basic teacher page looks like. So you can see that I'm actually a teacher in the section that you all have been working in. And then I also have this demo section. But once you're on your teacher page, it's really easy to create a new section. You just have to click this create a new section button. And we can just name this Georgia Workshop. And then once you've created a new section, you are taken to select which course that you want to, you want this section to be enrolled in. And so here are all of the CodeHS courses, and you can explore all of these courses. I'm actually going to show you the course catalog a little bit later, but all of these are listed in the course catalog, and I'm just going to actually search for the Georgia IDT course. You can see I can view the syllabus if I want to, and just select this. And now I'm going to creating a brand new section of the Georgia IDT course. And it might take a second here. Okay, here we go. All right, so then I've created a section, and how I enroll students is basically I have this little link right here. You just send this to your students. They have this class code that they put in, just like you did today. And then once that's all put in, they're enrolled in your course. So that's how easy it is to basically set up a section, enroll students. So that's kind of how you can get started. I also do just want to show you right now, and I want to be mindful of time, so there's time for questions. But basically, you can always view the course catalog from my courses. And this is just, oh no, I think I have to reshare. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So this is the course catalog, and you can always explore this, and you can filter by language, AP, non-AP, blocks. You can also filter by state. So if I go to Georgia, I can see all of the Georgia-specific courses. And I know we have a few people from Texas, I think. So we actually do have Texas courses that you can filter by as well. And these are the, fully aligned. You can use these out of the box without any adjustments, and you'll cover all of the course standards, which is really nice. So then I'm just going to go back to the teacher side of things. So I'm just going to go to my sections and back to my teacher page. And then really quickly, I'm just going to run through some of the teacher tools in the toolbox. So you as a teacher, you have this toolbox up here on your menu, and you can see the different sections of different tools. I'm going to go through the first 4. So these are just tools that basically help you as a teacher run your class, and kind of makes a lot of the administrative stuff part of like teaching a little bit easier. So the first one is progress tracking. So you can see that there are a lot of different types of progress tracking. You can track by activity, lesson, module. You can also just view quiz scores if you want to. This is also where you can set due dates and access controls. So basically, we had a question about running this as kind of a classroom where you want students to work together. You don't want students to run ahead. You can actually set access controls so that you keep your students in relatively the same place. I'm just going to look at progress by activity. Let's see. It's looking at the Georgia workshop. I'm going to look at my demo section. So basically now you can view by activity, and this is kind of the most granular level of detail, where your students are at. And so you see there's a key up here. This dark green basically means finalized. So what that means is the student has completed it, and it's no longer being weighted. Basically the difference between the light green and the dark green is submitted means that the student has completed it, but it hasn't been, it might be still waiting for review and a grade. But once the grade is finalized, the dark green pops up, and that just means that the student has completed it. We're not waiting for any review, and it's all kind of done. Then we have the dark red means submitted after review. So that means that the student has submitted it, it was passed back, and it needs work. We also have the pink reviewed, and basically that's the same thing. So the student has completed the assignment and it's been passed back by the teacher. Then yellow means not submitted, and gray means unopened. So you can use this to basically talk to your students about what's going on. So you might see some trends. So I know, there might be a student who you realize, is skipping every quiz or hasn't been looking at the videos. And so you can talk to that student and, see what's going on and make sure that, they're going through the course as intended. Then let's see, moving ahead a little bit, we have resources in the toolbox. So this is where we have our lesson plans, our problem guides, our handouts, glossary. I'm just going to look at the lesson plans right now. And so basically every lesson that we go through, you have access to, and I'm going to switch to the IBT course that we've been looking at. And these just have different teaching strategies, suggested accommodations. I'm going to look at the digital footprint, cyber, or reputation. So you can see that there's an overview, you've got your objective, you have a list of all the activities, and you can actually click through these to look at the activity yourself. We have solutions to all of our activities. when there are coding problems, you'll have these problem guides. This one is not a coding or lesson, so you won't see any problem guides here. But you got vocab, you have different handouts that you might want to use, planning notes, just strategies, so what you might be doing for the opener, the closer, and the different activities through the lesson. You also have these timestamps, which is really helpful. Then you also have the video slides, discussion questions, as well as any standards. All right, then the next piece in the toolbox I'm going to look at is code review. So this is where you as a teacher get to actually view your student assignments that have been turned in. And let me see, again, I want to. Great, okay, so now you can actually see, and I like to, you may have seen that there are what we call auto graders or test cases as we're working through the different exercises as a student. So those are great, and we definitely do recommend that teachers rely on them somewhat. And you don't need to grade every single piece of code that comes through that a student works on. But I would say our auto graders, they're not 100% accurate. They might not be testing for things like good naming conventions, style, like does it actually make sense? Obviously, there's limitations to, the auto graders, and we want to make sure that we're identifying any misunderstandings and helping to fix those with our students. So we recommend that teachers actually take some time to, review their student code and make sure that everything is going kind of as intended. So this is, you can actually see all of you. These are the submissions that we've gotten throughout the workshop. And I can actually click grade mode, and then it will take me to the different assignments that have been submitted. And so I can actually run the code, make sure it works. I can take a look, see if this makes sense. And then I can actually grade it here. So I'm just going to award this full credit. You can also leave feedback here. So I could leave a note if I wanted to, send it back as needs work. I could, let you know what I'm looking at that doesn't look quite right. Or I can mark as finalized. So I'm going to give this 4 out of 5, just for demonstration purposes. This is great, Tim. And I might say something like, can you add comments? And then I mark as needs work, and then Tim will get this assignment back, and he'll have an opportunity to resubmit with the comments and hopefully get that full credit. And then it automatically is going to take me to the next assignment that I can then go and grade. I can give this full credit, and so on. The last piece that I just want to show you, just in the interest of making sure we have time for questions, is just how to contact us if you have any questions. So here's the support tab. Basically, you can contact us at any time. If you click this, it'll open up a little chat, and you can speak to somebody on the CodeHS team. You also have, we also have the knowledge base. And so those are a lot of helpful articles that we've written just on how to get started. We also have a teacher forum where you can ask questions of other teachers. Maybe you have an issue that somebody else has already solved in their classroom. And so these are some great tabs that, as you're working through CodeHS, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. The last thing I will call out, but I won't talk through completely, is we also do have Create. And what Create is, this is a place where you can actually bring in maybe exercises or assignments that you've actually developed on your own. You can use the CodeHS platform and structure and basically put together a playlist of activities. We also do have a problem bank that you can kind of pull from and create these kind of custom playlists based on what you see students needing more practice on, Maybe you have students that are really high flyers and you want to put together something really challenging for them. And then you can actually assign it to your students. So that is everything that I have in terms of CodeHS tools, kind of a very fast overview of everything that's available. But I wanted to make sure that we have time for questions.
I also have a bunch of links to like the actual courses. Would it be best to just put that in the chat? It might be a lot though, and then they'd have to keep scrolling up.
Yeah, you can put the links in there. That's fine.
Okay. All right, I do have links. I've got links to all 3 of the courses we talked about today. I've also got a link to the Georgia guide that goes through the pathways in a little bit more depth than I did today. And then I also am including the beta courses if you want to sign up for the beta and kind of take a look at the courses earlier. So I've got all of that here. It is going to be, you might want to just copy and paste all of it, I don't know, on a sticky note or something.
Yeah, a quick kind of note on what beta actually means. So for us, it means that you can go through the course yourself, but you cannot create a section and enroll students yet. So basically, we're still doing a lot of testing. They're mostly done, but we want to make sure that, you know, before teachers actually create sections and have students going through it, we get an opportunity to, you know, fix all of the maybe little things that could be better that we've been working on or they're seeing as we have teachers test. So if you enroll in our beta tests, super helpful. If you have any feedback, you can always reach out to us, and that just really helps us make the course better. Awesome. We have
worked very well.
Course.
Can you talk about the difference between, I know here you were showing tools for the free version, but can you talk about the difference between the free and the pro version?
Yeah, definitely. So basically the free version, basically, I would say there are tools that are just going to help you kind of save time. So the lesson plans, you only have access on free to, I think, the first 5 lesson plans. And then the rest are kind of under the pro version. In terms of grading, I didn't show Fast Grade, but Fast Grade is actually a really, really nice tool that basically allows you to do things like filter. So I only want to grade this one student or this one assignment for my course. In the regular version, it also, you don't have any kind of control. Basically, you're going through in the order that students have submitted assignments. So you might be jumping around quite a bit. There are also just some kind of fast buttons. We have something called canned response that are really nice for the fast grade mode. Basically, we have like a saved, like, you know, maybe I had a comment about like, can you please add comments? So like, rather than having to type that out again and again and again for every single student who didn't have comments, I have a little button that I can press that says like, hey, this doesn't have comments, you need to comment your code. And then it sends it to the student. So you can really save yourself some time there. You also, I would say the biggest thing is you do have a dedicated support person with Pro. So we have this really awesome success team, and you actually have somebody who, you know, you can reach out to, you know them by name, they're reaching out to you, and you can basically, you know, they're really awesome. They can give you advice if you have any issues, you know, they'll work to solve it really quickly. So I would say, honestly, I think having that dedicated person is one of the most valuable pieces of our Pro plan. So we did have, sorry?
No, I was going to say, and even with the free version, she showed you all, if you wanted to contact them and you needed help, they respond very quickly. So definitely within 24 hours, but most of the time it's like that same day that you ask the question, they'll go ahead and respond to you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, definitely. The big difference is that you'll get, you know, a different person probably every time on the free version. Whereas the Pro, you'll get Bianca every single time, and she knows exactly who you are and what you need, and she can, kind of work with you, and you get kind of build that relationship, which is great. Jennifer, so Marcia had a question about the AP course. So is AP CSP, how is that different from the computer science principles non-AP version that Georgia has?
Okay, wait. I see the question. So will AP coursework for computer science principles non-AP? Yes, yeah, absolutely. Because you can modify the course too, what you could do is use our AP course and then take out all, any kind of AP review questions, because they won't need that, or any challenges that you don't think, or that you don't want to as well. So, I mean, basically it's going to have more than you need, but you can absolutely use it and just kind of modify it the way you want.
Awesome. We had a question about our PD offerings. So I am going to pull up a link actually and send people. So we have a few different PD offerings. The first piece is we do have these full online PD courses. And Jennifer actually just created and released this year the Georgia teacher certification, a prep course for teachers who want to challenge that exam. So that is a kind of general Georgia PD course that we have, where basically you can learn all of the content that you need to pass that exam. We also have like the more course specific PD courses. So I would say they're on average like 30 to 40 hours. And so you can basically go through everything that you need to teach, an intro to cybersecurity course, an intro to JavaScript course, APCSA. And it goes through both like the content piece. So you will go through some activities as students. And then you'll also go through as a teacher, what are some common student misunderstandings, and actually plan your instruction around like the different kind of bigger topics. And you have a dedicated person who is going through with you, basically providing support as needed, answering questions, and reviewing your work. We also do have, I say face-to-face, but really virtual this year, PD opportunities. So we do have, we will come to your district and do PD, but we actually are hosting several free PD workshops this summer. And so I am going to pull up the link here for you to register. And basically we're hosting, there are several different workshops that we're hosting. A few of them are just for general, like new teachers or experienced teachers. And then we actually have content specific ones. So if you want to learn more about how to teach cybersecurity, you can do that. Sorry, I'm trying to find this while I talk. But those are really, I would really, really recommend going to a few of those if they look like something you'd be interested in. Here we go, found it. So I'm going to post that into chat. And then I can also pull up that Georgia certification PD.
Okay. So don't forget, attendees, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you fill out the attendance form for this session. It's still pinned at the top of your screen. If you post on social media, hashtag Constellations Summit. We do appreciate you all for coming. We still have about 3 minutes, so if you still have questions, you can go ahead and get them in. But I did want to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Campbell and Ms. Hunter and Ms. Ramchandani for coming and sharing with us today. So, this is one of the platforms that we use with our teachers. The Constellations Center uses with our teachers. And one of the statements I made was, I wish I would have used this more. I think I had just heard about CodeHS when I was in the classroom, but didn't really take advantage of it like I should have. But this past year, I saw all of the wonderful things that CodeHS actually has to offer. And that auto grading, yeah, that's a lifesaver right there. So.
Thank you so much. So I'm actually just going to post our email in chat. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to us. You can also, when you're logged in, just use that contact us piece, but don't hesitate if you have any remaining questions.
Just put in a link because posting all the links in the chat kind of came out a little wonky. So I just put in a link of a Google Doc and I just posted them all in there. So you can go ahead and just bookmark that Google Doc or, take a look at those. And that includes the middle school courses, Georgia courses as well. And then also the GACE prep course.
Okay. Well, are there any questions? We still have 1 more minute before our break. All right, well, I'd like to give a round of applause for sharing with us once again. I think it's a very good platform, framework, and option that teachers can use for several different types of courses. Not just the CSA, but CSP and cybersecurity and Python, web development. I mean, there's a lot of different options there. And like they said, sometimes maybe you don't want to enroll the whole class in just one single course, but take bits and pieces from different courses to kind of build that strong resource foundation with your students. So, please, I would say definitely take advantage of the free version, play around with it, what have you, use it with your students, so forth and so on.
Well, thank you so much for being such an awesome moderator and all of the jokes in the chat. I loved
it. No problem. I stole some of them from some other people, so I'm just retweeting. No.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably steal a few.
All right. Well, that seems to be our time. If there are no further questions, like I said, don't forget to fill out the attendance form if you haven't done so already. Go ahead, take your 15-minute break, and we see you in another session or at the live stage, whatever's next. I'm not looking at the schedule right now, but thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye. Oh, remember, the sessions are recorded, so they'll be available on the Constellations YouTube channel after the summit. So, give us time to get those videos aggregated and uploaded and things, and come back to our YouTube channel, and you can see all of the sessions that you missed or just want to rewatch. All right, bye. For real, I'm leaving now. Like, for real. Okay. It'd be like that mama that be like, oh, baby, I just waiting on you to hang up. Like, okay. Bye.